If you are a fan of cameras and of using cameras like I am, and you want to go on social media to watch some content about your hobby, a lot of what you're going to see are those POV photography and videography videos. People showing their point of view of how they use all of those cool cameras they have to create some cool art. And for a while now I wanted to make videos like that myself, and I tried some different setups, but so far I was never really happy with the results I got. So when I saw the release of the DJI Osmo Nano, I was interested, but I don't need to be buying another camera, right? Yeah, no, I bought it. Of course I did. Somebody take my credit card away from me, please. And what better place to test this camera than the beautiful city of Prague. I went there for a weekend to celebrate my birthday, and I brought this camera with me. And of course this is not supposed to be a full review of this camera, because this is the first project I shot on this, and I'm not super experienced yet in how to use this camera, and I haven't tried everything yet. What I wanted to do instead is just see what kind of video you can expect to make with a camera like this. What shots can it take, what shots can't it take, and what would a video shot on this camera look like. And of course I also just wanted to document my trip to Prague. So let's throw it back to Prague with the most unfit siblings in the world trying to climb some stairs. Da wird einem echt schwindelig. Interesting.
250? Wie viele Seile umdrehen? Oh mein Gott, das sind so viele, oder?
Ich glaube schon. Oh, die Glocke.
Ey, und die jetzt rumschallert. Echt zusammen.
Boah. Ja. Right, yesterday wasn't that successful. I only had like half a day and the light wasn't really that good, the weather wasn't really that good. It was raining, pretty dark, couldn't really get great pictures there, but I did see pretty much everything I've wanted to see, so I kind of know what I want to shoot and what would look good in good light, which, as you can see today, the light's way better. So I'm just walking around, retaking some of those pictures. I think I got one yesterday I really liked, the others I don't think were that good. But for the most part, I think most of the good pictures are going to happen today. We already went up on a very high tower, really nice view, but the sun was kind of coming from the wrong angle because it was in the morning. I have a second viewpoint lined up right over there that I want to go to in the evening, and I think that should have the best light. So see you there. I think so far I've got some nice shots with this new camera. One thing that I always hear people talk about is the low light performance, which apparently, I mean, it's just not that good on cameras that are this small. But I think this is the perfect place to test that, because we're right here at the same time as there's some sort of festival taking place, the Signal Festival, which is like a lighting and video festival that's taking place in this town, which takes place at night. So that's already a good kind of opportunity, and I want to go there and test the low light performance of this camera. And also the city by night is just so beautiful. They light up the houses and it just looks so nice. So I think tonight I'm going to go out on a little photo tour with this camera, and let's see how the low light performance actually looks. Warten, bis das Boot da durch ist. Das Boot muss vor dem Schloss sein. Soweit das Play.
Ich glaube, wir müssen weiter noch da, oder?
Nee, jetzt hier ist gerade ganz gut. Gerade das Schiff, das ich drauf haben will, ist so langsam. I probably look so wrecked. So I did go to the spot. Looked nice, the view was nice. But the sun didn't really cooperate. Sun is setting in about 30 minutes. I'm just hoping that that's gonna be better. I have two possible spots lined up for sunset. They're too far apart, so we'll only get to one. And this is the only sunset I will get here, because we're leaving tomorrow at noon. So let's hope I make the right decision. I'm gonna look where the sun, what the light looks, and then decide where I go. Well, the good news is, look at these colors. Looks so nice. So it's gonna be nice, but the sun isn't really setting where I wanted it to be. I was hoping that maybe the view from the lookout spot was better during sunset, when there's not, yeah, you can see now where it's setting. I was hoping that I could get a better view from my lookout spot during sunset, but that's not gonna work. So I decided for option number 2, go to the pretty much the main, most famous spot here probably, and shoot that. Scrap that idea, I'm going for something else. I'm going to the Prague metronome, I'm going back to my lookout spot. So I'm gambling on that, hoping that works out. Even more stairs. I've climbed so many stairs today. This view here behind me is looking like I made the right decision. I don't know how much you can actually see, but the golden light is coming in, and I'm gonna shut up and get to taking pictures, and I'm gonna put you guys on my chest to make sure I'm using this camera the way it's intended, kind of, the reason why I bought this. Okay, good. I think I did the right thing. I think I'm pretty happy with the shots I got. So there's one more spot that I wanted to go to that was under the other spot I was debating going to. I'm kind of glad I didn't go there. I don't think the light would have been that nice there. But I decided to wake up early tomorrow for sunrise, go shoot the sunrise there, and then we're leaving at noon. So that's the plan. Pretty happy with how today went. See you tomorrow. The Signal Festival itself was pretty hard to photograph. I think I got some decent shots, but there was just so many people around and so many kids and stuff that was pretty hard for me to get really any pictures that I'm super happy with. But the city of Prague itself is really beautiful by night, and I got some shots I'm really happy with. And also, of course, you're just gonna be able to see some videos recorded with the super night mode on the DJI Osmo Nano. I'm really happy with this shot right here. I noticed those reflections in the window of this toy and game store, and I took some shots and I think they came out pretty nice. Right, it's early in the morning during sunrise, and I have about 3 hours until I have to leave the hotel. I'm gonna try to make the most of it. So my plan for the day is go back to the basically most famous bridge here. Charles Bridge, I think is what it's called in English, and that's the place that really made me aware of Prague and made me want to come here. Yeah, but it's very hard to get a nice picture of because every time I was there, it's so extremely full that it's just super hard to get a nice picture of it. So what I'm hoping to do is going there in the morning, because in the morning there's so much less people here in the city, and I'm hoping that the bridge is going to be fairly empty and I can get a nice picture of the bridge in the morning sunlight. And then I'm going home. I'm only a little bit hungover.
went out drinking last night and now I'm awake at like 6 in the morning, but you know, I can sleep when I'm home. Look at this, the mist rising from the river. Already looks pretty sick. Right, let's get moving. This already looks sick. Right, time to get the camera out. Wow guys, look at this. The castle just kind of coming out of the mist. Let's find a nice spot to photograph this. Is it better when I'm up there? I think so actually. Gotta go back up the stairs, get a view of the river, with the fog in the background. And back there's when the sun rises, alright. So that actually works out of the shot I was trying to take. I'm not gonna get there early enough that the sun isn't fully out yet. No, sun is rising in about 5 minutes. But the light is still gonna be good. I'm gonna need to see what angle is gonna work nice. Wow. Including also any trash cans, which isn't great. Let's find a spot where there isn't any trash cans in the picture. Now it's getting really pink behind the castle. I do much prefer this place if it's not so full. Even this spot right here. I don't know if I filmed it, but there were so many people. Because there's a nice lookout right over there. Do you want to get to it? Shoot a pink light at the castle. For continuing. Let's hope my camera doesn't crash again. Yesterday in the morning we went up on the tower. It was so cold that my camera kept on crashing. The batteries didn't work. So it shut off. Let's hope that doesn't happen right now, but it's extremely cold. I also didn't bring enough clothing for this. Very nice. Maybe let's exclude those strips, yes. Nice bird on my shot as well, paid actor. Look at how much emptier this bridge is. Well, still quite a lot of people, but less than there was yesterday. Right, I want to get on the bridge and then I want to get to the left of the bridge to get a shot of the bridge with the castle in the background. It's not over there, by the way. Well, it doesn't look good anyways. It's bridge time. On the bridge, and to the left of the bridge also. Absolutely didn't bring enough clothes for how cold it is. It's insanely cold. My ears are already starting to hurt. I might get very sick from all of this, but I guess that's worth it. Everybody here has a camera. There's so many photographers here, not the only one with this plane.
One thing that I really appreciated both about this sunrise as well as the sunset the night before was just being around so many other photographers. Basically everybody here had a camera with them. I mean, who else is gonna show up to some tourist attraction for sunrise? It was just so many photographers. Of course I didn't talk to any of them, but it still felt nice being around so many kind of like-minded people with similar interests and hobbies to me.
The light was absolutely perfect for that. I was hoping that would be the case. I was hoping that the sun would be in a position where it would shine on the castle, and it worked out perfectly. Holy, those conditions are amazing. Can I get a shot of this? Camera didn't crash us yet as well. Oh yeah. That's some real fog back there. Gonna turn that into a panoramic. Should be nice.
Okay, I want to come back in here to talk some more about this camera and about how I used it, how I made this video. What setups I used. So I used two main setups. First one is just this necklace. This is basically like the default way of using this camera. It's this necklace, put it under my shirt, and then this camera magnetically attaches to the necklace. And it's a super convenient way of using this camera. Whenever I use this camera in this setup, I shot in 4K in the 4:3 aspect ratio, because when I'm doing photography, sometimes I'm gonna hold my camera a bit higher, sometimes I'm gonna hold it a bit lower, and using the 4:3 aspect ratio allows me to crop in and just adjust kind of the image depending on where the camera is, what I'm doing, and just have some more room to play with in editing. The second mount I was using is this one right here. So you clip this camera on this hot shoe mount like this, and then you can attach it to your camera like this, and then shoot like this. And whenever I was using this setup, I was also using the 16:9 crop, as well as whenever I was filming like myself like this, or rather like this with the screen attached as well, so I can see myself. I was also using the 16:9 crop, so I can make sure that everything is framed correctly in camera. Whenever I'm able to see the screen, of course, I don't need the 4:3 aspect ratio, and I prefer to be able to just frame everything correctly while I'm shooting. Further settings I was shooting in D-Log M, 25 frames per second with standard D-Warp. And as I said, those are just the settings I used for this video. I'm not sure what the best settings are. This is just the ones I tried so far. I haven't even tried everything yet.
This is actually insane. I walked down this exact road yesterday. It was so full I couldn't photograph any of these cool houses here. So empty. Actually insane how empty this is. This is like the main tourist street. You can barely walk here in the afternoon. I don't know if I have footage, I don't think I do. But all of the shops are still closed, so it's gonna be hard to find coffee. They're still partying in there. Party never stops, I guess. They're really like absent here. I've never had it and I will not try. Because it sounds like it tastes like ass. Holy.
So let's talk about this camera real quick. As I said, this isn't a full kind of review, but I just want to talk about my experience shooting this video. So there's a few kind of negatives I noticed. For one, there can be a pretty bad lens flare when shooting in the direction of the sun, as well as you can see like in this shot where I filmed myself during the sunrise, where just the building in the background just completely freaks out. I don't know if that's the D-Warp or the image stabilization or what exactly is responsible here, but it can just kind of glitch out sometimes like this. I don't know why. I was also kind of hoping to use this camera as a general vlog camera and not just as a POV camera, and of course it's also very good for handheld vlogging like this because I have the screen right here to see myself, and the wide angle lens is pretty good for vlogging like this. But I was also trying to take some like B-roll type of shots. Like I tried taking a shot of the food we were eating there, and in situations like that it just didn't look too good because this lens is just too wide. Of course you need a very wide angle lens for POV shots, and this lens is very wide, but for some more general kind of B-roll or vlogging type of shots, just filming the landscape around, filming the food, filming this type of shot, I found it a bit too wide. So I think this camera is more so something that I'm going to use in combination with other cameras, probably just in combination with this camera right there, using this more exclusively for handheld vlogging and for POV shots. But I'm always going to want to have a second camera around for B-roll, for shots of the landscape. You're also going to notice that this video as well contains some footage out of this camera because certain shots this camera is just too wide. Which for a POV camera you want it to be a wide angle camera, but if you want to shoot an entire YouTube video on this camera, do keep that in mind that for certain shots it's just too wide. So let's talk about the benefits of this camera, and really the biggest benefit is that this video probably wouldn't exist if I didn't have this camera. My focus on this trip really was on exploring the city, photography and spending time with my family. I didn't bring a tripod. I wouldn't have filmed a shot like this in Prague. It would have just been too time consuming. I only had like a bit more than 48 hours. This camera is so insanely convenient to use. I wasn't wearing it the entire time. Usually I just had the necklace around my neck and then I had the camera in my pocket, and whenever I saw something that I thought would look nice in a video, I took the camera out, and it's a matter of literal seconds to get this camera ready to film and to film a shot. You can kind of compare this video to the video I shot when I went to London, which probably none of you guys have watched because it's the video with the least views on my channel. Because it's not that good. It was a very similar situation. I was in London. I even was there for a day longer than I was in Prague, but I came away with only enough footage to barely squeeze out a 5-minute video. Whereas here, I just started editing this video and I have over 2 hours of raw footage out of this camera because it's just so convenient to record. And in London, what I was doing, I was using this camera both for photography as well as video. So I was walking around, taking my pictures, and then whenever I saw something that I thought would look nice in a video, I just switched the camera to video mode, recorded a short bit of B-roll, then I switched to photography mode, took a picture of it. Sometimes I got my sister to film me on my smartphone, but I think that's only like one shot. And filming that type of video, especially when you don't want the focus to be on videography, is so much more convenient with a camera like this. And I've ended up with so much more footage from this trip than really any of my trips that I've been on before. And it's also not just some random like B-roll shots followed up by the picture I took of the scene. It's actually like, I would say, more entertaining, more high quality video, because you can really see more of the actual process of taking the pictures, which is really why I wanted to make videos like this. Another benefit is that this camera is just less socially awkward to shoot with. Like, it's very small, you're not gonna stand out much, and I really like that. You know, I don't want to be walking around with people seeing very obviously that I'm recording a video, even though I'm kind of like out here and kind of actually making the video. I'm fairly introverted and I don't really want anybody to see me record it. And also just kind of like don't want to be annoying to the people around me. And a camera like this is just less obvious, less kind of annoying, I guess. So does that mean that you need to buy this camera? Well, I've already started working on a video where I'm going to compare this setup to my old setup. You may have seen it on my channel before, but before I bought this camera, I was using my smartphone with this little strap right here, strapped to my chest in exactly the same position, filming basically the exact same video. And I've started working on a video where I'm going to use both of these setups side by side, so you can really see if it's even worth it buying the DJI Osmo Nano, or if your smartphone can get these same results. I can already spoil you, I prefer the Osmo Nano for sure, but if you want to see a more in-depth comparison and maybe see a way cheaper alternative to buying an entire new camera, stay tuned for that video coming up next, hopefully next week if I can film it fast enough. Anyways guys, thank you for watching. I hope this video was helpful to those of you who are thinking about picking up this camera or who have already bought it, and just kind of giving you some inspiration and showing you what kind of video you're going to be able to make with this camera. And if you don't care, I hope this video was just entertaining to watch. I hope you like the pictures. I think I'm pretty happy with the pictures. I'm gonna have my outro screen here. I have no idea what I'm gonna put there, but those are gonna be videos that you're gonna like if you like this one. So click on either of those videos and I'm gonna see you hopefully next week for the comparison video. Goodbye.